Race 1 on the Kensington track for Melbourne Cup Day. It's a 3-year-old maiden over the 1400 metres, and I like the Mark Newnham trained Quintessa on top here. She was a real eye catcher last start over the 1400 at Warwick Farm, chasing home Cockmatch. There was a good gap back to the third horse. She's only lightly raced, and she tackles this race second up off a perfect draw, and I think she can get home over top of them. Number 1, Space Boy. He'll give you a great run out in front if you want to back one at a little bit of a price. He's been placed at 5 of his 6 career starts. He's coming off a recent trial win, which he won by just over 8 lengths, and that was a 1200 metre trial. So I think he'll be there for a long way, and he looks the only leader in this race. Number 4, Starla. She's been a little bit costly if you've been backing her at her last couple of starts. Rolled as an odds-on favourite on each occasion, but she's certainly getting close, and if she's not winning, she's been finishing second, so she's got to be a chance. And for 4th, number 5, 24 Carat for John O'Shea, resuming this afternoon with the winkers on. 2 trials to get him ready, and he's always shown a fair bit of ability. My numbers in the first, 6, 1, 4 and 5. Race 2 on the Kensington track on Tuesday. It's a benchmark 70 over the 1800 metres, and I'm with the Chris Waller trained Lewis on top here. Jason Collett to do the riding. Lewis is a lightly raced 3-year-old son of Fastnet Rock. He's extremely well bred out of Sunday Joy, and from 4 career starts he's finished in the Quinella on 3 occasions. Last time out at Randwick he was just outgunned late there by Maid of Ore in a benchmark 70, so he's sticking at that grade. He goes up 2 kilos into this race. He's had a quiet tick along trial in between, and from barrier 2 I think he's the safest way to play this race. Number 6, Navy Cross for Gai Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, and I Am Invincible getting out to the 1800 metres, but the way he won at Wyong last start over 1600, you'd think he'd eat it up. He went straight to the front and kept going on that occasion, so he's now shooting for a hat-trick. Number 4 goes in for 3rd, Costas. He didn't get a lot of luck at Warwick Farm, second up over the mile, finishing on late after getting tightened on the turn. He could definitely be in the money out to this distance. And number 7, Just Society for John O'Shea. The blinkers go on first time, despite winning last start over 1500 metres, where he led throughout at Newcastle. So there's some good winning form coming into this race. My numbers, 5, 6, 4, 7. Race 3 on the Kensington track Tuesday, a 3-year-old maiden over 1100 metres. It's run at set weights, which I think will really suit number 3, Dirty Work. Dirty Work's been placed at 3 of his 6 career starts, and last time out he ran 4th in the Group 2 Roman Consul behind Cosmic Force, Standout and Microphone. So under the set weight scale here, he really is thrown into this race. He should be too good for them. He's got a slightly tricky gait because he's a speedy galloper and there's a bit of pace drawn underneath him. But if Josh Parker can get across and find a spot, or even find the front, I think Dirty Work's got to be the horse to beat. Number 6, Hulk. He's an interesting runner. He's had the 9 starts for 6 placings. 5 times he's finished second. Last start he finished 3rd in the Brian Crowley behind Diamond Thunder and Cardiff, which is a listed race. So again, at the set weights, you'd like to think he's a big show, and they're riding him more quietly now with the blinkers off, and I think it worked last time out. Number 13, La Cosmo for the Snowden stable. Like the way she trialled coming into this run. Her last preparation, she was thereabouts, placed at 4 from 5 starts. And number 16, Lady Herbert. If she gets a run, I think she's a real knockout chance. I like the way she's been trialling, and she's from the Hawks Yard. My numbers in the third, 3, 6, 13 and 16. Race 4 at the Kensington track on Tuesday. It's an open handicap, the Choisir over 1100 metres. It's only a small field, but there's some good sprinters here, and I like number 1, Glen All. I think class can prevail. He's trained by Team Hawks. He's only won 3 from 20, but he's gone around in 4 Group 1s, a couple of Group 2s, a couple of Group 3s, and he's a stakes winner. He has won at listed level, and he has finished 4th in a Group 1 previously. His recent trial at Rose Hill was very sharp. He won it by just on 3 lengths. And in the small field, I think he'll just scamp just off what looks to be a genuine tempo, and class should prevail. Number 3, Agent Pippa. She's likely to go around favourite on the back of an all-the-way last start win on the course proper here at Randwick, and she'll take a lot of catching again in the small field. Number 4, Southern Lad. He's got terrific first-up figures. I liked his trial coming into this. He won't have much traffic to navigate in the small field, so watch for him rattling home late. And number 2, Chauffeur, having his first run for the Joe Pride stable. Given a couple of trials, he's been gelded during his spell, and he's obviously one we have to keep very safe. Tricky little race, race 4. I'm going 1, 3, 4, 2. Race 5 on the Kensington track, a benchmark 70 over the Melbourne Cup distance of 3,200 metres. So it certainly makes it interesting doing the form here. And I've come up with the Freedman trained executive chairman on top. He won here on the Kensington track 2 starts ago. That was over 2,400 in a benchmark 70, so he's got to stretch that out a further 800 metres. It's a query for him, but it's also a query for most of his rivals. He's since gone to Warwick Farm, finished 4th behind Breakdance, who he meets here, but it's worth noting in that Kensington run, he did beat Breakdance, and he only had 1.5 kilos off him. So look, I think he's the horse to beat. Breakdance, obviously the danger and the short-priced favourite. Since that third behind Executive Chairman, he went to Warwick Farm and bolted in there, beating Love Seat and also beating Executive Chairman. So the two of them have been clashing a bit lately, and the scores are pretty much level. Number 6, So It Is. Well, she was a winner at Goulburn 2 starts ago, over 2,850 metres. So down in the weights, at least you'll know she'll run the journey right out, and she certainly comes here in form. With number 3, Miss Moana from the John Sargent stable, 3 kilos off for Chris Williams, was placed in a Group 3 race at Morphettville over 2,500 metres last campaign, and she tackles this third up off a spell, so she should be ready to hit her best. My numbers in the 5th, 2, 1, 6 and 3. Race 6 at the Kensington track, benchmark 70 over 1,400 metres. Not a lot of speed on paper, and I think that'll give Statuesquely every possible chance out in front. She was beaten first up as a short-priced favourite at Warwick Farm, but on that occasion she was really taken on in the lead over the 1,400, and she boxed on well, I thought, behind Secura and St Covert Spirit. She'll strip fitter for this run second up. I think she'll get a much softer time of it up on speed, and she has been in the money at 5 of 6 career starts, with her only unplaced run coming when a 5th in the Sunshine Coast Guineas behind Baccarat Baby on a heavy 10 track. So I think she's reliable, and from up on speed she's certainly the horse to beat. Number 6, Zoologist. He was very good first up off a break behind Tarsin at Warwick Farm. Held off High Mist, which flashed home into third. So I think from a lovely gate, should get a good run. He's one of the main dangers. Number 10, Jet Ski. He'd won 2 on the trot before a last start 4th at Warwick Farm behind Dunbrody Power. Didn't get a lot of luck in the run. Josh Parr aboard. He'll be riding him quietly, saving him up for the last crack at them. And number 7, Veda. Much better run last start, whether it was by design or not, came from off speed and finished third at Warwick Farm behind Dunbrody Power. Maybe that's the go for him going forward, because previously he's always been burning a lot of gas to get up on pace. My numbers in race 6, 5, 6, 10 and 7. Good luck if you are going to have a go at the quaddie on the Kensington track on Melbourne Cup Day this Tuesday. These are my quaddie numbers. First leg, 5, 6, 10 and 7. Second leg, 5, 12, 8, 9 and 1. Third leg, numbers 2 and 10. And the final leg, 2, 13, 10, 14 and 8. There are 200 combinations in that quaddie, so use the tab Flexi betting option to suit your budget, and good luck with your Kensington quaddie on Tuesday. Race 7 on the Kensington track. It's a benchmark 70 for the fillies and mares. This race is over the 1,300 metres, and I'm tipping Dioro Rain on an each-way basis. Trained by Björn Baker, Dioro Rain's had the 2 runs back from a spell. I thought she was great first up over 1,100 behind November Man in a benchmark 70, and then she was hard in the market at Newcastle last start in a small field. She finished 4th, so a touch disappointing, but only beaten a length and a half. They came home in very fast time. So I think third up, some on-pace favours here. She's only relatively lightly raced, and she has run well on this track before. So number 5, Dioro Rain, on top for me in the 7th. Number 12, Pelurian. I think she's the main danger. She's got a very tricky gate. She'll need the pace on. She's a back marker, and she zoomed home late behind stablemate Nick Point last start at Newcastle. She's still got loads of upside, and she's a real knockout chance. Number 8, To Your Health. Didn't mind the way she went over 1,000 metres first up at Warwick Farm behind Appian Way and Trumbull. She gets the tongue tie going on. Most importantly, she gets out to 1,300 second up. I think she could be a big improver. And number 9, Cardenet, she could be a knockout here. Only lightly raced now with the Mitchell Beer stable. She's gone 2 from 2 for the new camp, and I like the way she's found the line. She should get a lovely run just in behind the speed. My numbers in race 7, 5, 12, 8 and 9. Race 8 on the Kensington track, a benchmark 72 over the 1,550, and I'm very keen here on Jazzland for Kristen Buchanan and Josh Parr. This horse has always shown a lot of ability. He's only had the 10 career starts. He's already had 4 wins and 4 placings. His first up win at Wyong, he went straight to the front under a big weight, gave nothing else a look in quite a strong benchmark 70, and I'm expecting much of the same here. Straight to the front, control the tempo, and good luck trying to catch him in the run home. He's a very competitive horse, and I think he'll go on and win better races. Number 10, Soldier of Love. His first up run here on the Kenzo was very good behind Julian Rock, and then wasn't far away behind Bar None at Warwick Farm second up. From a lovely gate with Rachel King in the saddle, he gets the run of the race. Number 3, Nahuel, goes in for third. He's always promised a bit, this horse, and The Freedman stable have tested him over further, but Fresh over the 1550 is just as likely to bob up and run a cheeky race at odds, whilst number one Guys will give her one more chance after failing badly first up. That's the first time she'd missed a place in 6 career starts. She's been back to the trials, so well worth one more try. My numbers in race 8, 2, 10, 3 and 1. Race 9 on the Kensington track, a benchmark 70 over 1100 metres, and the recently gelded Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa is my top pick here in the last. Trained by Gerald Ryan. He may be a difficult horse to pronounce, but he's going well. He's been gelded, and both his trials this time in have been extremely sharp. He's looked to have plenty up the sleeve. He was tested in a listed race early in his career. He ran 4th in the Brian Crowley behind Diplomatico. And first up now, I just think as a gelding, he'll be too fast for these. Number 13 I've marked as the main danger in this field, and that is Phoenix River. His best career performance was probably here on debut, flashing home behind Trope. He's now gone 5 starts and yet to win a race, and he's running in a benchmark 70, so he is eligible for easier. But on the flip side of that, he gets in light, 54 kilos, a claim for Jean Van Overmeer. I think he runs really well. Number 10 goes in for third, Wonderbar. Now, Wonderbar's 3 from 3, albeit in easier races. She's progressed through Gunnedah, Armadale, had a spell and came back with a 900 metre win at Newcastle. But you can only win, and she's certainly doing that. And number 14, Niconi Pony, another one from the Mitch Beer stable. She could get a lovely smother in behind them here with no weight, and she was 4th in a listed race at Geelong last start. Prior to that, a very good second behind Ariege.